Hi, I'm Annika Johnson from Al Johnson's in Sister Bay. I hope you enjoy my new video series called Door County Girl. These are stories of my life, the people and places that I love, and of course how we all survive here in northern Wisconsin. You can come back as often as you like, but don't forget to subscribe to Al's YouTube channel. I'll be posting lots of really cool new videos. So let's go. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Door County Girl, and I am back with my friend and coworker and sort of boss sometimes.
Never boss.
I'm his boss,
She's like,
but I also think of him as my boss.
No.
We compliment each other.
Not at all.
Kit Butz.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
That was really sweet.
And we've been doing a run on some drink recipes with our new concentrates that we have: elderflower, cherry,
Okay, you gonna get them all?
rhubarb,
Yeah.
and lingonberry.
Yeah.
So we have 4 new concentrates from Sweden that you can get.
Yeah, that you can get. You can buy them online with us. Not to sound like a commercial or something like that, but they're really fun. It's just fun to play around with. They're very little to buy, so like it's not like you're buying some $20 thing that it's just fun to play around with something like that. And you know, if you have grandchildren, just have the grandchildren have fun and go at it. They may really enjoy that kind of stuff. So yeah.
What are we doing today though? Because I see some bread.
So we have bread. I know this may be the easiest recipe of all time. Ralph's going to be upset. He's like, you didn't give me the bread one. You gave me the.
Ralph's all about bread and potatoes.
You gave me the Flying Jacob recipe which was really good. And I might be making at my house this week, Flying Jacob. You remember that one with the
It's
bananas,
the one that's very weird,
curry,
and you would never think it tastes good.
chili paste, chicken.
And then you eat it, you're like, what?
Yeah, no, because it was funny because my wife and I sort of talk about what we're going to eat for the week and sort of plan out what
Do your kids like the Flying Jacob?
No, they'll hate it, but like they're going to try it. So they may be like, the Flying Jacob could be such a wild card that it could be really, really tasty. If you do not know what we're talking about, please go check out the episode, the Door County Girl episode.
We can't even say what number it is because we don't know those by heart.
And Bill, we're at like 300? 220
episodes. You got to just type in Flying Jacob recipe probably on YouTube.
Well,
the
Door County Girl Flying Jacob. If you subscribe, you could probably just type it into that.
It's interesting. Very interesting.
The craziest recipe that tastes amazing.
Right. And Rolf made that one, but Rolf's all about. I saw Kit bust out the bag, and for those of you that don't know,
a certain brand of Hawaiian sweet roll.
We can't. Can't we say the name?
I think you can.
Well, it's Kit. Like whenever you break out
everybody knows King's
Hawaiian,
is like the best.
It's like what? What are we gonna make? Because I love those.
So
even with just butter.
Yeah. So we are getting near Thanksgiving, and the super food. Like I'm just gonna chow down and eat. One of my favorite things is actually like we'll either make crescent rolls or we'll heat up the King's Hawaiian and then we'll put we'll melt butter and garlic and you just sort of glaze the top add a little salt and so you just take the whole thing in there, plop it on a sheet pan and you just lacquer the top with this butter, garlicky, salty top
yummy.
with the sweet, salty and all that kind of stuff too. But my favorite thing is usually we'll have like raspberry jam or some other jam. I've got the best of everything jam here, and it is our newest jam that we have.
It's got the perfect name.
Swedish Queens Blend Jam.
Queens Blend.
If everybody's wondering what this is all about, what's Queens Blend? I don't know that fruit.
Queens Blend.
It's basically a blend of raspberries and blueberries. So both that I love. I'm a raspberry fanatic, and I love blueberries.
How
and
come they didn't throw strawberries in there too, I wonder?
So funny you should ask, because there is sort of like a super old recipe. So I try to do the deep dive because
the Queen doesn't like strawberries, or
no. I heard the story about Queen's Blend. This is sort of where we're going to go here talking anyway. So it's good that we did this. But like it was a jam that the Queen wanted, that she wanted to have blueberries and she wanted to have raspberries. She wanted mixed into a jam. And this is what she said, can you make this? And then they made it and then everybody loved it. And then it became a thing.
Because the Queen made it up.
Yeah, because, in Scandinavia, like in Sweden.
I'm saying anything the Queen wants to eat, everybody else is going to want to eat.
I mean, Queen's cake, Princess Tort, pretty amazing stuff. I mean, I think the Swedes have a history of using like royal names in their foods.
So like if you invent a food,
Yeah.
you got to get the Queen of Sweden to love it.
I mean,
plug it, and then you'd be like
yeah.
busy.
Don't you love Princess Tort though?
Yes.
I mean, my favorite of all
The
time.
Swedish Princess Tort.
Probably like pinnacle dessert.
Yeah.
I think.
And you know it's a traditional Swedish cake. It is amazingly beautiful. It's a little bit difficult to make because there's a lot of
Very
work.
difficult to make.
But if you don't know about it, just Google it. 'Cause
Yeah.
we could go on and on about it, but it's called the Princess Tort.
I think one of my favorite episodes, because my daughter loves watching cooking episodes. I think they had the British Bake Off and they had them follow that recipe.
Princess Tort.
And it was really tough. I mean, these are like hardcore bakers, and they're like trying to make it look exactly like it. And I'm sure like there's Swedish bakers out there like, oh, no problem, I can do that in my sleep. But you grew up doing it, that's kind of thing.
But this actually would be tasty in a Princess Tort in the layers. But I'm going to say,
I mean, would we call it the Queen's Tort at that point?
I don't love to plug a ton of people, but I think it's good to plug people. If any of you live in Minnesota, in Minneapolis or St. Paul, Willette's Bakery has probably by far one of the best
there is another
Princess
place.
Torts I have ever had.
There's another place in strong running, and you've had it from the place in Chicago.
Oh yes, but what's that called?
The Lost Larson.
The Lost Larson, yes. So Willette's in Minnesota.
And if you're in Chicago, in Andersonville, they have one, and they actually opened a new one. I don't know where. I think the new one's in like Wicker Park or something like that.
And I love that name.
Yeah. So
say it again.
The Lost Larson.
The Lost Larson. So we came up with I love that name. Anything lost, magical.
It's probably
princess.
it's up there in my top 5 cups of coffee. Actually,
Yeah.
like I have like one that I got in Sweden, one that I actually got in Hawaii because I love Kona coffee.
Yeah.
Like I just think it's so smooth. And then at Lost Larson was like in my top 5 cups of coffee.
Yeah, I have to say that was pretty incredible.
And their croissants are amazing. The Princess Tort is amazing.
I did Google them. I saw their
They got a lot of
bakery.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny. Here's a long time story. I got an email from them before they opened the shop. And the story is the guy that started Lost Larson, he went, him and his sister started it. He went to Sweden and he lived in Sweden for like a year and a half and he just learned how to bake. Yeah, he was just baking everything and he was working at different places. He went to school there and wanted to come back and have like really great stuff.
Do they make limpa?
Think so.
We should try some of theirs.
I know that'd be interesting. Well, next time I'm down there, because I actually will need to make a trip because I'm going to go visit my other favorite place in Andersonville, the Swedish American Museum.
Oh yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
I always get those.
Yeah.
So that's another good place if you're in Andersonville. That if you want to do fika, they actually have a little shop there now called Fika
at the museum.
At the museum. So go check it out. They have it's nice because Lars gets a corporate sponsorship thing with them. So when I'm down there, I'm probably the only one that utilizes it. I have the card in my wallet. I can go and I can go through.
When I go, you better give me your card because I'm going to go utilize
I get to go through the museum and they always have really great stuff. And they also do these great markets. They're going to have their winter market coming up too soon.
Do they have like a little bakery counter too?
That's the Fika, like little cafe is their Fika.
Yeah, because they have one in Minnesota too. They have one at the Swedish American Museum there.
Yep.
And actually Zoe, who works in our boutique called Skoll.
Manager of Skoll.
Her sister works at the one in St. Paul.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Minneapolis.
And we went to go visit her there, and we had fika with her.
Yeah.
And it was pretty incredible.
Maybe I'll give Bill some pictures and he can add it.
Museums are smart to have fika places.
Yeah. No, people love food, man.
Yeah.
People love.
And you need a cup of coffee to get you like geared up to want to stay awake through museums because they're so peaceful that you sort of like. You need to focus.
That mansion there.
I'm not saying they're boring. I'm just saying they're so peaceful that you need a little.
That mansion there is unbelievable. Just to walk through, even if you don't go for any of the art.
I was obsessed with all the fireplaces. All I did is take pictures of it. Every
I was there
single
with
one
you.
of the surround. I know.
I've got the best picture of Annika. She's sitting at in the basement on the throne, like the actual throne.
Like a queen.
Yeah, like a queen. So maybe that's a good interlude back to the jam.
I'm the queen of Coyote Land. That's where I live.
Coyote Land.
Anyway, let's get at this. We're down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly. So I tried to figure out if that was actually how they got the name, and it turns out that that's not really. That's sort of a old wives' tale, sort of a myth. And there was only one, like a cookbook from 1903 that has the mix of these two berries in a jam, and it's called, I'm going to kill it. So queen in Swedish is drottning, I think.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So Drottningsylt.
Yeah.
Silt is jam. Or,
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's the name of. That's where
You actually
the first,
did a good job on that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm sure people will let me know.
My mom would say it in a way where she put us to
so,
shame. Yes.
Yeah. They'll sound exactly the same, but slightly different.
Okay.
Yeah. So this cookbook actually had the recipe for this, and it was the first actual written down version of Queens Blend Jam. So, but the cool thing is now is that we can enjoy it. We can bring it into the U.S. We're probably one of the few. There's probably only two other companies that I know that have it.
Queens Blend Jam, and we also have raspberry jam and
strawberry jam, and cloudberry jam,
cloudberries,
and everybody's favorite lingonberry jam.
Lingonberries.
So I'm going to pop this open because this is the other part that we wanted to sort of talk about was, so our jams are more Euro style now, so they're a little bit looser. So like I've gotten a lot of people comment, especially about the lingonberry jam because they're used to how ours used to be.
So like when you open a jar of jam in the United States, I'll hold that for a second. I'm ready for a scoop. I jam it in there because I think it's going to be thick because I got to scoop some out.
Because there's lots of pectin and stabilizers and thickeners in it. So yeah.
When he talks about it not being thick like what we're used to, this is what I love about it. I love that you don't need to use as much on your toast because usually when it's really thick, you have to use quite a bit to spread it all over.
You get like that chunk that just sits there and you're trying to actually spread it. While this, like on like regular bread, like I'm going to show you, will just spread
And if you're
easily.
not using lingonberries on your Swedish pancakes or your waffles, this is unbelievable, drizzled all over them with butter. I mean, you can't go wrong, and you get the right amount on.
And I know I keep on saying vanilla ice cream, but this
vanilla ice cream.
Can you imagine a Queens Blend milkshake?
Yeah, I was just gonna say you could use it in a milkshake. Yeah. It's just easier to use, and just think of a baked brie, and then you pour this right over the top of it.
It's the Queen Brie.
Queen Brie. We should have that on else. Queen Brie.
The Queen, like
not the Queen Bee,
not
but
Queen
the
Bee.
Queen Brie.
Okay. So
we're good naming.
I know
people.
we're hitting it today. That's for sure.
It.
So I'm gonna harken back to when I was a kid, and you'd come home from school, and you were limited on what you could cook or make in the house because you weren't allowed to.
My mom would say, "Don't eat anything I've got separate on the stove."
Yeah. Well, I always had a snack. I was like. But one of my favorite things, and it was funny because I just had this discussion with Carrie from the auditorium, and we were having this talk. She used to come home, and she's from down south, and she would have barbecue sauce sandwiches, she called them, where it was just like bread with barbecue sauce on them.
Weird.
Which I've never heard of. I was like the kid that I had that. We had Miracle Whip. I'd use Miracle Whip and
You'd
just
be like, "Where's the beef?"
Eat that on bread. And then my other favorite thing was just jam on just regular spongy white bread, and without toasting it or anything like that, because you're a kid and they don't want you to toast things. They don't want you to catch the house on fire or use a frying pan or even the microwave half the time. So we are going to just make it really easy for us. This is the easiest Door County Girl episode ever. Just take one slice of bread. No, I'm teasing. And we are just going to put a little of this tasty, amazing jam on it, and we're going to give it to Annika, and she's going to
spill
smile,
it down the front
of her. I'm going to have one too here. But you can see the color. It's got this great sort of reddish blue from the blueberries and the raspberries together. It does like just a little thing, and it's spread, and look how thick that is. Just like that. You know what?
I can really taste the jam.
Yeah.
But it's really good on these Hawaiian
You're not
buns.
Gonna, yeah.
But I prefer it on toast.
Okay.
But with lots of butter.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a jelly donut kind of thing.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were going to have fika, this would even be a nice little fika item. You could just cut some little
points.
King's Hawaiian little muffins.
Yeah. Trust me, you cut this in a triangle and then cut it in half. You've got like little toast points. Yeah, you're set.
Get my coffee and then have a little bit of. You know what I always think of when I see bread and jam? If Rolf was here, he'd say it right away, but you won't.
Probably not.
We have a book in our library that we were big voracious readers as kids. My mom read us a book every night before we went to bed. If not, we would make her read 10. Mm-hmm. She'd be like, "That's enough." We're like, "Can we read another one? We need another one." One was called Bread and Jam for Francis.
think I know.
And it was a little badger.
That's what I mean. I've seen those Francis books.
Yeah, Bread and Jam for Francis. It's a classic.
Actually,
and the gal ate, the little beaver gal or whatever she was, a badger. She wouldn't eat anything but bread and jam. That's it.
I think if you went into our kids' library now, you'd find like 5 Francis books.
Bread and jam for Francis.
Yeah. So the other thing I love about this, it's not super sweet. It's not like overtly sweet. It's not like sugar forward. It's actually got just a really great blend of like sort of the sweetness, you have the tartness, and you have the great flavors of blueberry and raspberry in it. So
I love
works
this.
really well
I
together.
love all our jams. However, I'm going to tell you, I used to waitress, and people, I would be taking their order, and they're like, well, I can't have seeds because, you know, I have this and this and this and this. And then you're like, okay, what do you want for? Okay. Okay. But if you don't want fresh, like jam, because this is definitely, you can tell, is from the berries.
Yeah.
There's some seeds in there. They don't bother me a bit. I can't taste them when I'm really chewing them.
Yeah.
But there are seeds. So people who get the jam, it's not one of those strained.
Yeah, if you have diverticulitis, which is the...
Is there a difference between jelly and jam? Which one doesn't have seeds?
There's jelly, jam, preserves. Well, I think jelly is the one where they actually strain everything out of. They use more of the liquid and they thicken just
like
the liquid.
Thicky pectin-like thing.
But like jam and preserve are sort of the same thing.
But to me, this has got everything in it. You can see that it has. So if people can't have seeds, I would not suggest that one. But
well, yeah.
I love it.
It's
if you
good.
love it in general. I'm just saying it because, you know.
Check it out. Like I said, we have it online. We actually have it out in some stores right now, and hopefully we'll get it out to more.
I want to make one for Bill because he's standing back there going, wait, don't eat that next one because I want one too.
And Bill did mention he loves the Hawaiian rolls like we do.
Yeah,
so,
we love these. It's like that commercial. Whenever you say you're going to have them, the neighborhood comes running.
Exactly.
Right?
Well,
that was a really easy one.
I know. I made it easy. We
Check
did a
out all the
lot of
jams
talking,
online.
little cooking, and a lot of talking. So.
And don't forget to go to those plugs that we had for the bakeries and pikas and things
yeah, no,
like that.
I think we got to talk about some really cool Swedish stuff that are around in our communities.
Yeah, you should try kind of neat ethnic things in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
When you're living in Chicago, you can get everything.
If you're in Stockholm, Wisconsin, cool places there. There's a lot of great shops. There's a lot of great places. The UP is full of different places, and whether it's I'm going to a Finnish place or I'm going to a Norwegian place, they all sort of have a lot of the cool different stuff that is Scandi-centric or Scandinavian.
That's right.
So check it out and see. Definitely give this a try, and we will see you later.
That's an easy, good one. I like it. Okay, well, bye, everyone.
Bye. Hey-do.
Don't forget to like and subscribe at the bottom of the page, and we will see you in a different episode. Right?
Probably with different shirts on, too.
Yeah. And different hats.
And different hats.
Okay. Bye,
Take
everyone.
care.
I'm gonna fix this one up for Bill too.
It is almost like a jelly donut in a weird way. That sweet roll, like it was like the poor man's jelly donut right here.
It is. It's like a little jelly donut.
Little whipped cream on top.
Oh, ooh, now we're talking.
Now we're
little whipped cream, and put a little bit of this in the whipped cream. And
this is my problem. I'm like, okay, I take it to the next step and the next step, and then it's like a Frankenstein monster of food.
Thanks for watching Door County Girl. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.